And I know that whether you voted leave or remain, you're going to celebrate tomorrow because the decision is made and we are leaving. And I will be in Parliament Square tomorrow to celebrate that.
If we want trade, friendship, cooperation, reciprocity, we don't need a European Commission. We don't need a European Court. We don't need these institutions and all of this power. And I can promise you, both in UKIP and indeed in the Brexit Party, we love Europe. We just hate the European Union. It's as simple as that. So I'm hoping this begins the end of this project. It's a bad project. It isn't just undemocratic, it's anti-democratic, and it puts in that front row. It gives people power without accountability. People who cannot be held to account by the electorate, and that is an unacceptable structure. Indeed, there's an historic battle going on now across the West, in Europe, America, and elsewhere. It is globalism against populism. And you may loathe populism, but I tell you a funny thing, it's becoming very popular. And it has great benefits. No more financial contributions, no more European Court of Justice, no more common fisheries policy, no more being talked down to, no more being bullied.
In what seems to have been a very difficult article to write, our globalist friends at the BBC News explained in very blunt, and shall I say negative terms, next steps for the British people and Brexit. It was nice to see that they do make mention of the fact that it has been the second time the British people have voted to leave the European Union. I am unsure if the term union is correct, and I think European dictatorship, or more refined, Brussels dictatorship, is more appropriate than EU. The globalist friend of the EU has tried their hardest to scare the British people into submission, without success. The country is parting from the EU, or at least in paper and spirit, today, the January 31st, 2020. The Daily Mail in a very somber article wrote, "A new dawn, Boris Johnson will say that Brexit is not an end, but a beginning," while hailing a new era and promising to transform neglected regions of Britain, as the nation leaves EU at 11 p.m. tonight. Tonight he will stress his belief that the referendum was a vote not just to leave the EU, but also for lasting change in neglected areas of the country. Mr. Johnson will describe Brexit as the moment when the dawn breaks and the curtain goes up on a new act. Like Adam Schiff places words in Donald Trump's mouth, the article goes on to speculate what Boris Johnson will say. It is a moment of real national renewal and change. This is the dawn of a new era in which we no longer accept that your life chances, your family's life chances, should depend on which part of the country you grow up in. Making Brexit sound like a saga, the BBC calls the EU a European Economic Community, creating economic and political union between 28 European countries. They make sure to mention that being part of the EU allows for free trade, which means goods can move between member countries without any checks or extra charges. The EU also allows free movement of people, to live and work in whichever country they choose. They speak about small margins and close calls about the referendum, which was held in June 2016, when 17.4 million people opted for Brexit. This gave the Leave side 52%, compared with 48% for Remain. On the positive side, the politicians that pushed Remain seem to be quiet, or less vocal. Surely this day will be a party to remember for the Brexit years.
All right, fine. If you want an experienced public servant, vote for me. But if you want to believe a bunch of crazy promises about garbage men cleaning your gutters and waxing your car, then by all means, vote for this sleazy lunatic.
And now, all in favor of reinstating Ray Patterson?
Oh, oh gosh. You know, I'm not much on speeches, but it's so gratifying to leave you wallowing in the mess you've made. You're screwed. Thank you. Bye.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.